Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Take Control of Your Market Through Listings with MAPS coaches Lance Loken and Kristina Nguyen. Please note this webinar is being recorded and you will automatically receive the webinar recording. If you have any questions for your coach, please type them into the question box located in your webinar taskbar. Following the webinar, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching programs, please email us at maps@kw.com. And that's all for me. Lance and Kristina, take it away.
Hey everyone, this is Lance Loken and
Kristina Nguyen, how's it going?
Kristina is our VP of Listing Agents and has been extremely instrumental in getting our business to where it is today. We just completed our 8th year in business and did 628 million in production for 2,482 closings. And Kristina's side, just on the listing side, did almost 1,000 units. So we would love to pour into you guys and give you a little deep dive into what we've done in the 8 years that we've been in business. And just as a way of introduction, Kristina and I met via a buyer agent that we are already associated with. Kristina, why don't you tell the story?
Okay, so hey there, guys. This is such a great pleasure and honor being here with you guys. We're super excited to get you guys to where we want to be in terms of launching your business, taking it to the next level, as well as getting you guys to where you need to be and starting your new listing business and growing it exponentially. Just to explain what Lance was talking about is that how we met is you typically look for talent in corporate America or sales and marketing background. I just happened to run into a mutual friend that knew of the Loken Group and got me set up with their buyer agent that Lance is talking about. We met at a wine bar, which is a lot of us tend to meet there, and we really got to dive deep into what was the purpose and what's the vision that Lance had for the Loken Group. And really, it was your humble leadership and servant leadership that really sold me. So that's how we got connected.
And Kristina was one of 2 listing agents at the time when she joined the Loken Group and has grown that department to now 6 people. And pretty soon here, we're going to have an additional 2 or 3 people that'll be joining on the listing side. So they have pretty big goals for 2020, and we want to ensure that she has the right talent to achieve those numbers. So anyhow, that's a little background about us. Let's get right into the webinar. And we are super excited about the program here of Secrets to Listing Domination. We want everybody to be listing focused. There's several teams out there that are buyer focused, and that works well for them. But as we've read many times in the MREA book, Gary Keller preaches and really puts down the anchor that you need to be listings focused, because listings is where the profit is. And when you focus on listings, your profit will automatically rise and fall with that. So how do you know when you've dominated the market? What we love to do, and when we first started out, we wanted to have 15% market share of the Houston metropolitan area. To put that into a little perspective, 15% market share for Houston equates to, there's 100,000 transactions done a year in Houston, and that means 200,000 sides, because you have a buy side and a list side. So that equals 200,000, and 15% of that would be 30,000 transactions. And that's our ultimate goal and the path that we've set out for the Loken Group. But just to put that into perspective, when you know you've dominated the market and looking at it from a percentage standpoint, you should be looking at 15 to 20% market share in whatever capacity that you're focused on. For instance, if you want to be a part of a neighborhood and dominate that neighborhood, find out who the top producers are in that neighborhood, see what their market share is, and then what do you need to do differently in order to beat them and ultimately dominate that neighborhood. You can also look at it by a town or by a city. What we did here is we looked at Houston metropolitan area, which covers 8 counties, and we wanted 15% market share of that. So, but whatever it is for you, just use that as your benchmark. 15% market share comes from my retail days. And what we've done, and it's been proven time and time again, is when you have 15% market share, you've infiltrated the market. Right this second, we have 2.76% market share in all of Houston, and we did 2,400 transactions. That puts it into perspective of how much work we have to do yet before we are truly dominating the market. It's just like Amazon and Starbucks. I love to use the analogy, Starbucks goes and builds a store, and then they want 15% market share of a mile radius. In that mile radius, when they've got 15% market share there, then they expand the store and so on. And that's what great retail markets do. And so we're just abiding by those rules. Do you have anything to share on the domination part? Okay, so then do you know how many listings you need in order to net $1 million? If you haven't taken the course business planning for MREA, you need to take that. And one of the best things that comes out of that is, in order to net $1 million, you need to add 6 listings a week into your business. That's it, 6 listings a week. It's a little over 6, so you could even call it 7. But that's the name of the game. Go after 7 new listings every week, or 1 a day, and you will net $1 million at the end of the year. And so that's what we're going to really dive deep into and show you different skills and mindsets that you need to really focus on in order to achieve that goal. Because
and I'm glad you mentioned that, Lance, because you said skill sets and mindset. And that's so important, especially when you're asking how many listings do you need in order to net, not gross, net $1 million in your pocket. I mean, to be fair, sometimes before working with the Loken Group and meeting you, I couldn't even imagine having $1 million in my pocket. I thought it was impossible. And you got to get in the right mindset of being very growth focused, just like what Gary Keller says, right? You always want to either double your goals or to think big.
Yep. And the key part about that is netting $1 million. We could care less about what you gross. We care about what you net. And the book Profit First has really catapulted our business and got us refocused on what we need to do to net a high percentage. So we'll dive deep into that as well. Next, how do you grow a business when the market is shifting downward? We don't know anything about that, do we, Kristina?
He's joking. Yes, we are actually in a shifting market here in the greater Houston area. And being that we've been in business for only 8 years, it's a new experience. Yes, there's a shift book out there. Yes, there's amazing Keller Williams agents who are a lot more seasoned than we are, that we've been learning and growing from. And it's happening right now as we speak. And so the question is, how do we continue to get more listings, get them sold, net as much profit as we can when nearly everything is shifting downward? That's the key thing in figuring out what the specific secrets and what's the specific strategy that you need to have in place so that you can have an ironclad business.
Yeah, the activities that you were doing in 2013, 14, 15, even 16 and 17, when the market was increasing, those activities, you can't do them right now. You've got to double down your efforts. We're realizing that you have to do almost double the amount of activities in order to achieve the same results. And so you've got to have that mindset, and you also got to have grit in the face of this challenge. The best part about it is that when you're in this market shift that we're going through, you get to have market domination. And that's what we're super excited about. So let's go over a little bit about what you're going to do in the program.
I love that you're mentioning that, because the very first thing we talk about is mindset. Lance, why is mindset so important when we're launching this program and starting to do the activities necessary?
You know, the easy answer to that is you get to hear no every single day. And how demoralizing is it to hear the word no? And they're going to come at you with every objection. And your mindset has to be in such a way that you could care less what they say. You're focused on the end result. You're focused on getting that listing. And your mindset has to be so strong and gritty that you can withstand anything. The best part about that is when you get into scripts and know your scripts without a shadow of a doubt, your mindset's automatically going to be more confident, right?
Absolutely. And it's just exactly like what Diana Kokoska says. Before she walks into every single listing consultation, she has a song played in her mind, in her head, and it really ramps her up and gets her going. And the moment the mindset is there, she just knows down to the core of her whole soul that that seller is going to list with her no matter what. And so you have to go back. So, okay, so next what we're going to go over is the lead generation sources, showing you where you can find amazing sources and get listing leads. Then next we're going to go over seller pre-qualification. What I mean by that is you're not here to write free CMAs or comps for prospective clients. We're here to run a business and to basically pre-qualify them and understanding and digging deep into their motivation. The next thing is we're going to be helping you with tracking your numbers and conversion rates. Lance, help me understand why tracking numbers and conversion rates is so important.
So the best benefit of that is you can figure out where your gaps are in the business and then figure out a game plan in order to close those gaps. For instance, for us on the buy side, we've had a huge opportunity from agreement signed. So that means the buyer rep agreement has been signed to getting them under contract. There's been an opportunity for us to close that gap because right now we're closing at about a 48% rate when a year ago we were at a 74% rate. So we've been analyzing our business and trying to figure out what are the mechanisms that are driving those percentages down. And we're finding that we've got a lot more people that need credit repair. We've got a lot more people that feel like they're waiting for the best deal out there. And what happens in a shifting market? The best deals out there, you're in that market right this second. You need to be going after the business right this second, especially on the buy side. So we'll be looking at that. On the list side, we have a huge opportunity from appointment kept to agreement signed. Our focus is on achieving 70%. And when we first started this initiative, they were in the low 40s, and now we're in the mid 50s. And it's just been a constant evolution because they're so focused on script practicing and real playing. We don't call it role playing, we call it real playing here. So those are just some examples of what we'll be diving deep into when we're tracking numbers and conversion rates.
The next thing is showing you how to create and execute a powerful listing consultation. It is very important that when you're showing up to your listing consultations, that you show up prepared, looking professional, and knowing exactly what to show them and really showing up in the best version that you can. Now, we're going to share with you our listing consultation, a presentation that we share with our sellers, and we'll show you a website that you can access most of our files here. We're pretty much an open book here at the Loken Group, and so we'll share with you guys what's helped us tremendously. The next is we're going to go over proven systems for lead follow-up. Lance, why is lead follow-up so important, and why do we need systems for that?
So they always say fortune's in the follow-up, and what we have found is when you're not following up with those people, they're going to go and buy or sell with somebody else. They need that instant gratification, and you're finding that more and more as technology gets faster and faster. People don't have time to wait around for you. So it's imperative that you have amazing lead follow-up skills, and that's not necessarily a natural trait for an agent, especially listing agents and buyer agents. So we have plans in place to help you become very successful on the lead follow-up piece.
And another thing to add to that is basically what happens is we realized that we had leads coming in, right? And then when leads came in, we would either pick up the phone, answer them, buyer lead, seller lead, or there's some folks that call in and they fall through the cracks. Now we're focusing on a new gap in our business because we are tracking our numbers and our conversion rates, is we're looking for the lead capture conversion rates, meaning, great, you pulled into our CRM program, which is the customer relationship management program, and we have lead written down, we have it saved, we had one touch contact, and then the buyer or the seller went MIA on us. Now that's money in our ATM machine. That's what we like to call it. Any lead that comes in is an opportunity for your business. And so we can show you also proven systems, not only for lead follow-up, as well as lead capture.
Yep. And just to illustrate this from a numerical standpoint, we had a listing agent at one time that closed 199 transactions in 1 year. And you guys go, wow, that's absolutely amazing. So she went on 500 appointments. Okay. The conversion rate from 199 to 500 isn't that great. Imagine what she would have accomplished if she would have done 70% or even 60%. That would have meant 300 closings. And so you got to look at your conversion rates. You got to look at where the gaps are in your business, because you could have gone on the same amount of appointments and closed at a much higher rate, and it would have benefited everybody around. So that's what we're talking about when we look at our follow-up processes as well as our conversion rates. Leverage is a huge piece for us. As we've grown the business, we've gone from having a listing agent to having a listing partner who does a lot of the behind the scenes processing for us. And then we even have VAs that are doing non-client facing activities on our behalf, so that we can leverage the listing agent to be the most successful that they possibly can and do the one thing that they absolutely love to do, and that's close deals. So what is your goal? What do you intend to accomplish in the next 8 weeks? This is going to be an 8-week course, and we're really going to dive deep into every single week. The big things that we're going to go over are so there's a lot of things that we're going to go over. What may be holding you back from building a big business? If you're not thinking big, if you're closing 5, 10, one transaction a month, what would it do for your business if you doubled that? And that's our goal for you, is that by the end of these 8 weeks, you're going to be able to have the tools and ammunition to double your business. Number 3, what tools do you need in your tool belt to break through your limiting beliefs? And at the end of the day, it's all about skill set. This is becoming more and more imperative with us. We had a gentleman that used to play for the Dallas Cowboys come in and speak earlier this week, and the thought process and what that quarterback needs to know, it's not just his play calling and what activities he needs to do. He needs to know everybody on his offensive team, 11 players there, plus the other 11 players, 12 players on the other side of the team. You've got to always know what everybody else is throwing at you. And your limiting belief may be, I don't know how to answer all those questions. So we're going to provide you with the opportunity that we can fill your tool belt so that your skills are like no other.
The next thing is we're going to go over what is your mindset around working with sellers. When you are going to a listing consultation, have you fully prepared for it? Are you running late? Is your mind ready to go and handle any objection with their sellers? Do you know confidently that you have a win? Or are you just going with the flow and trying to figure it out as you go along? Have you had your scripts mastered? What happens if you go on 12 listing appointments and you get 12 no's? We'll share a story about that later on in a session. Really funny story.
Yeah. And so on the mindset around sellers, whenever you go to a listing appointment, when you get to that front door, you should have the mentality that you've already got that listing and you're just going to wait until they say yes. And you've got to have that presumptive close mindset. You've got to have that attitude that they're going to work with you. Because if you don't have that mindset when you enter the house, you're already going to lose.
Right, you already got to know. The last one is, how many listing units will you add to your business in 2020? And what will your action plan be to accomplish the goal? Here, we're going to be giving you homework, because without homework, there's no action, right? And here, we're here to help you grow, committed to you and doing everything we can so that we can build your skills, give you the tools and the resources necessary to set you up for success in your new listing business that you're going to achieve.
Yep. And before we get to the next slide, we just want to share with you, there's a question box on the right-hand side. Feel free to put questions in there and we're going to answer them at the end. If you have any questions, comments, feedback that you're looking to learn or receive from us when we get into the 8 weeks. The 8 weeks will be starting in another week or so, but we'll go through that in a little bit. So here we are, set up your sellers for success. Lead generating for listings. We're going to go over expired listings, FSBOs or for sale by owners, door knocking, sphere of influence, client referrals, agent referrals.
Next, we're going to go over lead capture and follow-up, exactly what we were talking about earlier. Looking for ready, willing, and able seller leads so that you can set yourself a great listing consultation. And the other leads should be entered in your CRM program and added to a touch campaign. We'll show you how you can do that and provide different resources and methodologies so that you can have different options to start building your CRM or refine a current CRM that you currently have. Lastly, we're going to follow up with the campaign and showing you how to put certain campaigns in. Now, just to share with you guys, here at the Loken Group, we specialize in our roles. So here we have a specific listing department, specific buyer department, and inside sales department, as well as a marketing department. So throughout the 8 weeks series for this webinar, we're going to be bringing in experts in that field, whether they are inside sales agents to share with you their secrets to follow up that has truly helped them achieve 6 figures, or we're also going to send you, get you guys connected with our marketing team that can help you ramp up your social media or ramp up your CRM. And so we're really excited about that and getting you guys in touch with the experts here in our team that have truly helped and been a huge game changer in getting our business to today.
And then we've got seller pre-qualification. Goal is to set a listing consultation. So here we're going to be, bringing in inside salespeople to go over the objection handlers that they go through. They're going to talk about and go through scripts, and we're going to have a lot of role playing between our ISAs and our listing agents so that you can experience what we go through on a daily basis.
Then we're going to help you be the local economist choice and helping you understand your market. So it's very important to understand your numbers, to know how to read the data, to understand what's happening locally so that when you're showing up to the listing consultation, you are truly the local economist of choice for your sellers. Lastly, we're going to show you how to handle objections. At this point, even you and I today, Lance, we still have role play partners. When I started off as an ISA, I had 10, now I have 8. And I continue to want to have more role play partners because it's only going to help me refine my skills. Even agents today, Diana Kokoska, Tony DeCello, even Joe Bogart, they all have amazing coaches or they role play. And so they never let lose sight of developing their skills because no matter what, you can always grow, and no matter what, there's always room for improvement and growth opportunity in developing and perfecting your skills. And also, we're going to show you what is it that you say, the 7th level?
Yep.
And
just talk about getting to the 7th level business and how you can maintain your business, whether you're in the business or on the business. So we'll go through all that. On the objection handlers, it just came across my mind. remember when Diana Kokoska and Tony DeCello were dating, Tony would call Diana up, and instead of her saying hi, she'd get right into objection handling mode. And those sometimes were their dates. I mean, how would you like to be around that environment on a regular basis? So anyhow, we're going to go through a lot of objection handlers there. And then the listing consultation. Prepare a pre-listing packet, customize your listing presentation with specific market data, discuss listing process and marketing plan, set expectations about things you can and cannot control.
That's going to be a huge key, especially when you have the pre-listing packet to share with your potential prospective sellers so that you can show them ahead of time what you do differently and explaining them your UVP, which is your unique value proposition. And then we're going to show you our listing presentation with specific key market data that you can absolutely use for your own presentation. And then start to show you our process from start to finish, what has worked well for us. Please know that everything we share with you within the next 8 weeks is really, truly how we figured out, we tested and beta tested processes. We failed numerous times. We failed forward, got back up, and realized, well, that process didn't work. Moving on to the next. So everything here that we're showing you is everything that has either worked well for us or didn't work well for us, and just to share with you our experiences. And also the next thing is showing you contract to close, how you can leverage your allied resources. Lance, can you give us some examples of allied resources?
So you've got your lenders, you've got your title companies, you've got your inspection services, your attorneys if you're in an attorney state. You've got, it's all across the board. Whoever you work with or whoever you provide leads to, they should be your allied resources. If you have remodelers, if you have roof contractors, they're all your allied resources, and they should be giving you business back just as much as you're giving business to them.
Then we're going to show you your transaction coordinator. When is a good time to hire your first transaction coordinator or your closing coordinator? What that can look like. We have had different systems and processes since we've started off, and we're happy to show you guys what it would look like if you were to be a 1-person team, 2-person, a 3-person, or even a 90-person team, and what that could look like from a leverage standpoint, efficiency standpoint, and really helping you get more closings. Then we're going to set the next steps, expectations with sellers throughout the process. It's so important to set the right expectations with yourselves, especially in a shifting market. Setting them the expectations for your services, for your level of communication, and also the shifting market and how the comps are changing. So what we do here at the Loken Group is truly master how we can set the right expectations with our sellers so we can set everybody up for success, whether it's ourselves within the team or a customer service standpoint, and most importantly, the results. Lastly, we're going to go over closing and post-closing. Attending your closing, asking for a client testimonial, asking for a referral. We have an amazing script that has truly helped us in getting referrals, and we've learned it from this amazing agent named
Mike Hicks.
Mike Hicks, yep. And so he has implemented the promise that we've learned from him, and also integrated some of his concepts as well. And it's been truly a game changer for us in asking for continued referrals from our forever clients. Here we don't call them past clients, we call them forever clients, because we intend to have them forever be our client until the end, so whenever that is. Now, lastly, we're going to put a client on a post-closing touch campaign in your CRM. Again, that's going to be coming from our marketing specialist, and they're going to show you exactly how to do that so that you can keep yourself and your listing business and your real estate company top of mind for any future real estate needs that your client may need after closing.
Yep. Then finally, tracking your numbers is key. We're going to go over what is important about tracking numbers consistently. What metrics should listing agents track? We go over a number of leads, appointments set, appointments kept, agreements signed, pendings, closings, GCI, and then we're going to use the CGI models from Keller Williams and use the pipeline report and the 4 conversations. We're going to go through all of that. So just as a reminder, our next launch is Wednesday, January 15th, 2020. Just go to mapscoaching.com/group and click on the secrets to listing domination and click on sign up. We've got a few questions here before we go. Just wanted to, we're going to be sharing slides with them after the recording, and you'll be able to keep them. And then every week we'll be going through slides throughout the process. Can you expand more on the role playing? I feel this is what would help me most. You know the saying, don't practice on the client. So we're going to be role playing quite a bit, and we'll be doing script practicing. We'll do live, one-on-one between our ISAs and our listing agents so that you can see that. At the end of the day, your clients practice on everybody that you meet, whether it be out in the field, whether it be on the phones with potential clients, whatever the case may be, just start practicing. Wanted to know what software subscriptions I would need to consider to implement your model. What products do you use? We use Trello and we use Infusionsoft for a lot of our business, and we'll be going through that through the 8 weeks of the course. This is not the same course as 90 listings in 90 days. That was an old course that Craig Rieger had done, and we're taking secrets to listing domination and talking about our listing process and what we can do to help you at least double your business. We want to know how much more we can influence your business, maybe even triple your business. What are less expensive things to do to build up your market? We're going to be going over that. At the end of the day, the easy question is pick up the phone and call. And we'll tell a couple of stories that we've experienced that really is the way that you grow your business. What have I never listed a home before? Can I start from zero? Well, that's where Kristina talked about the first 12 listing appointments I ever went on. I got to know. So talk about starting from zero. You can't get any lower than that. So we'll go through that entire process. Will they have the option to practice role playing with other agents taking the course if they wish to participate? Absolutely. We're going to be able to provide you with contact information for anybody that's participating in this course. So we're really excited, and we don't want to take up any more of your time. But again, go to the next launch, visit mapscoaching.com/group, and then click on Secrets to Listing Domination, and then sign up. We look forward to seeing everybody back again next Monday when we go through the first of 8 weeks and hopefully blow up your business. Have a great day, everyone.